In the beginning of the movie, we see that this story takes place in France, inside a small butcher shop run by a couple named Sophie Pascal and Vincent Pascal. They sell a very special type of meat, so delicious that anyone who tastes it once can never forget the flavor. The demand is crazy. People stand in long lines for hours, sometimes all day, just to buy it. But here is the shocking truth. This meat does not come from any animal. It comes from human beings. Yes, you heard that right. Sophie and Vincent secretly kill people and sell their meat. And the most disturbing thing is that their customers have no idea. To hide the truth, the couple tells everyone that it is a rare Iranian pork, prepared with a secret traditional method that is almost impossible to find anywhere else. Now the question is, what happened in their lives that pushed them to this point? How did an ordinary couple become sellers of human meat? To understand that, we go back to the beginning of the story. At the start, we see Sophie and Vincent struggling hard. Their butcher shop is almost empty, barely surviving. Only a few customers walk in and the business is on the verge of closing. And that is where everything begins to change. Their situation is so bad that they cannot even cover their monthly expenses, and Sophie is extremely worried about it. One day, while the couple is in their shop, a group of vegetarian activists suddenly bursts in and begins to vandalize the place. These people hate anyone who sells or eats meat and call themselves vegans. Vincent manages to grab one of them, but the others attack him, beat him brutally, and drag their friend away, as if his failing business weren't enough. Now, this disaster makes things even worse. The next day, Vincent visits his friend Marc, who also owns a butcher shop. But unlike Vincent, Marc is doing very well. He is making a lot of money and even brags about it, trying to shame Vincent and Sophie. Sophie does not like this at all. As they walk back, Sophie tells Vincent to look at Marc. He runs the same type of shop, and yet, his life is comfortable, while theirs is falling apart. Then she tells him that she can no longer stay with him and talks about leaving him. This drives Vincent to extreme anger. At that moment, Vincent notices one of the vegan activists who had attacked their shop earlier. Blinded by rage, Vincent runs him over with his car and then drives over him again. At first, he thinks the man is only injured. But when he gets out of the car, he realizes the truth. The man is dead. Upon seeing the corpse, Vincent completely panics and tries to call the police immediately. But Sophie stops him and explains that he has committed murder and that, if the police find out, he will spend his life in prison. Vincent asks, "So what are we supposed to do?" Sophie calmly suggests that they cut the body into small pieces and get rid of it, saying she learned this by watching a TV show about a serial killer. Vincent doesn't want to do it, but to save himself, he has no choice. They return home, and with a heavy heart, Vincent summons the necessary courage and cuts the body into pieces. Later that night, exhausted, he goes to sleep. The next morning, Vincent wakes up and realizes that the minced meat has disappeared. Shocked, he asks Sophie about it. Sophie matter-of-factly tells him, "I sold that meat to a customer." Vincent is stunned. He never imagined his wife would actually sell human meat. Before he can say anything else, the same customer to whom Sophie sold the meat suddenly walks into the shop. The customer tells them that the meat she bought earlier tasted absolutely incredible. She says she has never eaten anything so delicious in her entire life and wants more. Then she asks, "By the way, what kind of meat was it?" Vincent panics for a moment, but he manages quickly and says it is a rare Iranian pork, something that is extremely difficult to find. Satisfied with the answer, the woman buys more meat and leaves. After she leaves, Vincent starts to argue with Sophie. He angrily asks her why she would sell human meat. Sophie explains to him that when she checked the shop, the regular pork was already gone. She had nothing else to sell, and since they barely get any customers, she didn't want to let one leave empty-handed. Vincent remains unhappy with her decision. At that moment, another customer walks in and asks for the same Iranian pork that a woman had just bought earlier, saying he loved the flavor. And after that, more and more customers start to appear. Soon, their shop is filled with people asking for the same special meat. In a short time, the special meat is completely sold out. That day, they make more money than ever before. Later that night, Vincent decides to try the meat himself. He wants to know what makes people so obsessed with it. The moment he tastes it, he is shocked. It is the best meat he has ever eaten in his life. At that instant, Sophie joins him and reveals a disturbing truth. She tells Vincent that the meat came from a vegan activist. She suggests that if they keep killing vegans and selling their meat, they will get rich very fast and, in their warped logic, even reduce the number of vegans in the world. Vincent refuses immediately. He says that what happened was an accident and that he doesn't want to become a criminal. He tells Sophie to forget about that idea. The next day, their daughter Chloé visits them with her boyfriend Lucas. After hours of hard work, Vincent prepares a special meal for them. But just as he serves it, Lucas says, "I don't eat meat. I'm a vegan." Even more shocking is that Chloé has also become a vegan because of him. In a single instant, Lucas ruins a whole day of Vincent's hard work. After they leave, Vincent completely loses control. His anger boils over, and he finally convinces himself that vegans should be wiped off this earth. The next day, the couple goes out to look for their first planned victim. They enter a vegan restaurant and decide to target the owner. But when the time comes, Vincent's hands start to shake. He freezes and cannot go through with it. Panicking, he runs out. Vincent tells Sophie he cannot do this. Sophie calmly responds that he can, that he just needs practice. The next day, they attend a vegan festival, posing as vegans themselves. Their goal is to find the weakest and easiest target. After searching for a while, they spot a thin, lonely young man. Vincent starts talking to him and convinces him to step aside for a private conversation. The boy agrees. They reach the car and wait for him to arrive, silently deciding how they are going to kill him. A few moments later, the boy appears. Vincent hides the knife behind his back and steps forward, ready to strike. But just as Vincent is about to act, he suddenly stops because the boy is not alone. Two of his friends arrive with him. Vincent quickly hides the knife before anyone notices. The three boys explain that they are planning to attack a butcher shop that night and invite Vincent and Sophie to join them. Vincent and Sophie reluctantly agree, fearing that refusing might make the boys suspicious, especially since Vincent had planned to kill one of them. When they arrive at the butcher shop, Vincent and Sophie are surprised to discover that it belongs to Marc, Vincent's old friend and business rival. Because Marc is his competitor, Vincent feels no guilt whatsoever. In fact, he enjoys destroying the shop. Vincent alone causes more damage than the three boys combined. The destruction fills him with a strange sense of happiness. Later, Vincent and Sophie enter a restaurant, where they start arguing over everything that has happened. The argument becomes so intense that Vincent storms out, leaving Sophie behind. Shortly after, a worker from the restaurant approaches Sophie and starts talking to her. The conversation continues, and eventually, the worker offers to walk her home. Sophie accepts and leaves with him. When Sophie kisses the worker, she suddenly bites his lip hard, making it bleed heavily. As blood pours from his mouth, Sophie calmly tells him not to worry and that her house is nearby. She offers to take him there and tend to his wound. Sophie brings the injured worker home and discreetly tells Vincent that he no longer needs to stress. She has brought the victim directly to their house, and now Vincent just needs to kill him. But once again, Vincent freezes. He says he cannot do it. Sophie then coldly tells him that if he doesn't kill the man, she will sleep with him instead. She walks toward the worker, proving she means it. This pushes Vincent over the edge. Now it is no longer about a murder, it is about his pride. In a fit of rage, Vincent brutally attacks the worker and beats him to death. Afterward, Sophie and Vincent clean every drop of blood from the house. They throw the bloody clothes and the man's car into a river to erase all evidence. That night, they work together to dismember the body. The next morning, Vincent receives a call from Marc. When they visit Marc and his wife, the couple is crying. They explain that someone attacked their butcher shop the night before, but Marc has no idea that the two people standing in front of him were also part of the attack. They act as if they know nothing about the assault and pretend to be completely innocent. At that moment, a police officer arrives and asks Vincent to step aside to speak in private. Vincent panics, thinking he has been caught, but that is not the case. In reality, the officer is there to ask about his Iranian pork and wants to buy some. That very same day, they sell the meat to many customers, and within hours, it completely sells out again. The craze for the Iranian pork spreads so fast that all the nearby butcher shops are forced to close. Now, Vincent no longer feels any fear. He begins killing people on a daily basis. He even raises the price of the meat, but the crowd does not thin out. People are desperate to buy it, standing in long lines for hours just to get a small piece. Their business, which was previously failing, starts to grow rapidly, and the couple begins making a huge amount of money. One day, even Marc decides to try the meat. The moment he tastes it, he realizes that the meat is truly incredible. While eating the meat, Marc suddenly feels something strange in his mouth. When he pulls it out, his wife, who used to work as a nurse, recognizes it immediately. It is a pacemaker, a medical device used for heart patients. At that moment, Vincent remembers something horrifying. One of their victims had a heart condition. This meat probably came from that very person. Vincent tries to cover it up quickly, saying it probably came from a pig. But Marc and his wife refuse to believe him. An argument breaks out and soon turns violent. During the fight, Vincent completely loses control and bites Marc's cheek, tearing a piece off and chewing it. Seeing this, Marc and his wife are left totally shocked. What Vincent just did will come back to haunt him later, but he still has no idea. Despite this, Vincent and Sophie continue with their killings, selling human meat without hesitation. One day, they attend another vegan festival. There, Vincent notices a small child. His mind has become so twisted that just looking at the child makes him feel hungry. Disgusted with himself, Vincent decides to leave. But before he can do so, He bumps into Lucas and his daughter Chloé. Lucas is surprised to see them at a vegan festival and questions why butchers are even there. He says that vegans are being slowly killed off and that he doesn't like it at all. He openly blames meat eaters and even points to Vincent and Sophie as part of the problem. After saying this, Lucas walks away, leaving Vincent deeply unsettled. Now we see a member of the same gang that helped Vincent attack Marc's shop. He discovers that Vincent and Sophie are actually non-vegetarians, even though they pretended to be vegans when they were with him. This revelation upsets him deeply. Later that night, while Vincent is cutting meat in the shop, a police officer suddenly appears. The officer says he wants to see how Vincent prepares the famous Iranian pork and walks inside. At that exact moment, Vincent's dog comes running and carrying a severed human hand. Trying to keep his calm, Vincent tells the officer that the Iranian pork will arrive tomorrow and that there is currently no stock. Luckily, the officer doesn't notice the hand and leaves. Vincent narrowly escapes being discovered. A short time later, Lucas goes to their house. He apologizes for how he behaved at the vegan festival and explains that he is extremely worried because several of his vegan friends have gone missing. Sophie discreetly tells Vincent that Lucas should be their next victim. Vincent is shocked. He realizes that Sophie has completely lost her mind and has crossed every possible line. Without hesitation, Vincent forces Lucas out of the house. Angrily, Sophie turns to Vincent and says, "What did you just do? He was home delivery for us." Vincent finally says, "Enough is enough. I am done with all of this." The next morning, he announces to everyone that the Iranian pork is finished and will never return, claiming that exports have stopped. The customers are left extremely disappointed, especially after waiting in long lines for hours. After saying this, Vincent leaves the shop, leaving Sophie alone. While Sophie is alone, the same 3 vegan activists arrive. They kidnap her and take her away, furious that Vincent and Sophie had pretended to be vegans. They tell her that posing as a vegan is a serious crime and that she must be punished. When Vincent returns, he senses something is wrong. Inside the shop, he finds the activists holding Sophie hostage. Vincent's dog attacks one of them, and Vincent quickly kills another. The last activist fights with Vincent and manages to hang him from a hook, leaving Vincent severely injured. Just when it seems like the end, Sophie breaks free and throws a hook at the activist, killing him. In the final scene, we learn that Marc and his wife had already informed the police, saying they suspected Vincent and Sophie. After a full investigation, the truth comes to light. Vincent and Sophie are arrested and found guilty of 30 murders committed together. Both are sentenced to death, and with that, the movie comes to an end.